Today, I will talk about two periods and one art movement. First, it is Impressionism. Impressionism was a 19th century French art movement which emerged between 1860 and 1880. It arose in reaction to traditional painting, which focused exclusively on historical, mythological subjects. Impressionism artists aimed to capture everyday life and the moments they personally experienced and the depiction of changing light in nature. So, characteristics of Impressionism are accurate depiction of shifting light, free brushwork, a priority on color, and open compositions. The socio-cultural background of late 19th century France included the rise of capitalism, urbanization due to the Industrial Revolution, and the redevelopment of Paris. This brought wide streets, cafes, railways, and an increase in leisure activities for citizens. This influenced them to make urban life and landscapes their primary subjects, so their paintings often feature parks and the culture of city strolls. Costume. For men, their costumes were suits, canes, bowler hats, and top hats, which was popular items. Influenced by dandyism, stylish and elegant clothing was in fashion. In many paintings, you can clearly see bowler and top hats like this. Suits became functional and easy to move in, making outdoor activities more natural. Props. Tube paint. Artists started using tube paints invented in the mid-19th century. These metal tubes made it easy to store and carry paint, allowing painters to go outside and work freely. This played a key role in the development of Impressionism. Environment element. As I said, Impressionism was influenced by the Industrial Revolution and the modernization of Paris. Artists often painted cafes and parks, showing people enjoying leisure time outdoors. This painting depicts a typical Sunday afternoon at an open-air cafe and dance hall in the Montmartre district of Paris. I chose this outdoor space because in the late 19th century, people in Paris spent their weekends in places like this, dancing, dining, and socializing. Second, it is 18th century Joseon dynasty. The Joseon dynasty, Korea's ruling dynasty for about 500 years. It was a class-based society centered around royal authority. I chose to focus on the 18th century and, in particular, upper-class women. This period came after two wars, during which the country overcame crisis and experienced an economic and cultural revival. Politically, it was also a stable time. It can be considered the last period of prosperity for the Joseon dynasty, with urbanization driven by commerce and changes in people's daily lives. Costume. It is hanbok. Actually, it's the traditional Korean clothing that has maintained its basic form over 1600 years, though its style changed slightly over different periods. For women, the basic pieces are these: skirt and top, called jeogori. In the 18th century, the top became shorter, reaching about the chest with narrower sleeves and body. This created a tighter fit. Meanwhile, the skirt became fuller. During this time, it was popular, especially among upper-class women, to use bright colors like purple, reddish-orange, or light green with contrasting fabric on the collar, cuffs, and ribbons on upper clothing. This reflected the peak of 18th century culture, showcasing wealth, status, and aesthetic values, and distinguished the upper class from common people. Prop. Brush, inkstone, and paper, which is writing drawing tools. In Joseon, people used brushes like this when writing. Originally, in this society, men mainly practiced literature and scholarship. However, in the 18th century, new social and cultural trends and ideas emerged, and the growth of commerce led to increased cultural consumption. In this context, upper-class families taught their daughters literacy and artistic skills at home, so upper-class women enjoyed arts through brush and paper. Furniture, na전 comb box. This was a storage used to keep various tools for combing or decorating hair. Furniture in the inner chambers, which were women's spaces, symbolized family status and elegance, often featuring elaborate decorations. Furniture like this, called 나전칠기, it was considered a luxury reserved for the upper class because it required the finest materials and highly skilled craftsmanship. 나전칠기 is the technique of slicing seashells thinly, arranging them in intricate patterns, and coating them with lacquer. Its colors shift like rainbow, changing constantly depending on the angle you view it from. The reason why I love this style. In the 18th century, with the upper class enjoying cultural activities and technological advancements, this craft became more elaborate and refined. Patterns also moved beyond simple designs. Additionally, peace and economic stability increased demand for craft items, leading to more these decorations on everyday furniture. 1920s Jazz Age, United States. The Jazz Age refers to the period from the 1920s to the early 1930s when jazz music and dance styles became popular worldwide, especially in the US, where jazz originated. This era was influenced by the widespread adoption of radio. With radios reaching almost every household, Americans could enjoy a variety of content at home, which helped popular culture and the entertainment industry to grow. The Jazz Age was also closely connected to Prohibition law. When the sale of alcohol was illegal, bars went underground, and secret spaces were created within ordinary restaurants or cafes to serve alcohol. These hidden establishments, known as speakeasies, became extremely popular. As a result, jazz clubs flourished and the jazz music reached the height of its popularity. Costume, flapper dress. In this period, the flapper look was popular, which minimized the female silhouette by creating a straight drop from the chest to the waist, giving a more boyish appearance. The dress had a low waistline and did not constrict the body. Unlike the long dresses of the past, the skirt fell just below the knees, making it easier to dance in. Decorations included fringes and intricate beadwork, and sometimes sequins, pearls, or feathers were added to give a luxurious feel. This style reflected changes in women's values at the time, such as pleasure, self-expression, and independence. Also, there were changes reflecting expanded political rights, such as women gaining the right to vote, and the pursuit of social freedoms equal to men, including smoking, dancing, and drinking. Prop, cigarette holder. During this period, smoking was on trend among both men and women. Especially in places such as jazz clubs and speakeasies, smoking was a social activity as well as a way to express one's style. Cigarette holders prevented fingers or gloves from becoming stained and allowed people to smoke without their fingers getting hot. However, in reality, this was part of an act of display. The luxurious, decorative, and modern props and interior of the Jazz Age show the Art Deco style that was popular at the time. Art Deco is characterized by geometric decoration and forms, the use of metals and ivory, rich colors, and luxurious textiles. It also features symmetry, high-gloss wood, lacquer, which is a protective coating that creates a shiny surface. Furniture, cocktail cabinet. Cocktail cabinets became extremely popular. As drinking in public places was prohibited, private gatherings increased rapidly. Wealthy people began installing hidden bars in spaces such as living rooms and studies, and cocktail cabinets were widely used. From the outside, these cabinets looked like ordinary chests of drawers. However, when opened, they contained bottle racks, designated slots for glassware, and bar tools such as shakers and mixing spoons. Some designs also featured fold-out or rotating mechanisms that allowed a bar surface to emerge. These cabinets were also influenced by the Art Deco style. They were made from exotic woods such as walnut veneer and decorated with chrome details, mirrored panels, and lacquered finishes. That's all for my presentation. Thank you.